Hi again, my name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today we're doing the second half of my What Sold video, which will be for the Friday through Sunday, October 10th through the 12th. And that Friday and Saturday was amazing. What I expect for fourth quarter, and then Sunday. So it is what it is, and we're just dealing with it, right? Today, major internet outages all over, but not for eBay and those types of platforms, but Whatnot's taking a killing, and Amazon is like...
I'm not sure if the Amazon site was, I could get to the homepage of my app earlier.
Okay.
But there are other sites. It's the Amazon, from what I understand from the little blurb I saw, the Amazon Web Services, which are the cloud server services that a lot of companies use so they don't have to maintain their own servers. Those are having issues, which if those have issues and your server is hosted there, then you're having issues.
Yeah. I just know it is what, 4 o'clock in the evening, and I still can't get on Whatnot. I've tried. Our friend Courtney was supposed to have a show this morning, and she just, I think she started it, but really couldn't do anything, and I'm not quite sure how it ended up for her. I haven't spoke with her, but yeah, what a disaster when you rely on the internet to make a living. You've got to be concerned.
Roxy Mack sent us a video where a lady talked about flat rate shipping, and we'll give you our version or what we're doing. Our pivot, little change we're making in one of our stores. Here in a bit.
All right, let me show you. There was no sales on Etsy. I'm not even trying, so I can't even blame Etsy for that. So, right now it is so busy and I have so much inventory. I have to focus on eBay. eBay and only eBay between the two stores. So, all right. All right, first thing to share with you was this Katie little baby blanket with the satin edge. Anytime I find blankets with satin edges, it's definitely worth something to look at. It took almost a year, though, to sell, $22.45. Y'all, this is definitely one to be looking for. This is the second time I found it. I did pick it up in a thrift store in Knoxville. This is the Fisher-Price Little People Magic of Disney Donald Duck Popcorn Cart. Sold same day. Same day I listed it, $42. Holland America Line Ship Plush. You just never know what's going to sell on eBay. It sold for $17.95. Angel Deer is the brand. Teal Blue Giraffe Cow. Lovey. This, I like finding this brand. I do not find it very often. It has been listed for, a little while, and it finally sold $22.45. Mattel Zowies, little die-cast vehicles. I found two of them I found one of them at a yard sale. I think it was when we were up in Withville. Found another one to add to it. Funny thing is at the bins this past trip, I found another item that I was going to put with this, and then these sold. So now I've got a single I'm going to have to find the value for and get it listed whenever I finally found it. This is so much stuff here. But they ended up selling $21.56. If you're new to my channel, I don't do free shipping. Wait. We're going to talk about that in a second because, now I am making some exceptions. But for all of this stuff it sold, there was no free shipping, so the buyer has paid also for it. All right, Christian Dior men's robe. I had it listed really high. It's been listed since almost the beginning of our clothing time here on eBay, and I lowered the price and it sold $32. I mentioned this in previous videos. I am drastically reducing the prices on my older stuff to make them gone. Just got to do it. And right now is the perfect time to be doing it because People are out. More people are shopping right now since it's fourth quarter. All right, we picked up this grill, but we picked it up just because it had the little parchment bags that go with it. And that's all I listed. The grill's still sitting over here. I'm going to donate it. It works. It was basically new in the box. I just wanted it for these. We paid $5 for it. The packages were open, and I ended up counting that there were 47 of them, and they sold for $32.36. It's a Sunbeam rocket grill. Jake and the Neverland Pirates little spy game telescope sold for $10. This was an odd plush. It just, I had never seen anything like it. Had that anime looking thing, and it was, the brand is, I think, Taito Blue Mori Gloomy Rabbit is what they're called. And this person that purchased it went back and forth with me because she was an international buyer. She ended up using a freight forwarding company to purchase this item, and it sold for $50. And she's already sent me a message if I ever find any more gloomy plush to let her know. Oscar Mayer hot dog bean plush sold for $8.96. Cut from the cloth women's jeans. These sold for $17.71. Kelly Toy green elephant plush. Very cute. Had its original paper tag. Had it listed for a while, and I ended up dropping the price and then taking a best offer, $22. Thomas Trackmaster winged Thomas the Train. This one was definitely a good one to find. I'm pretty sure I picked it up at the bins, and it sold for $36.40. Mary Meyer elephant baby playmat. Probably not something I want to pick up again. They're big, they're bulky, and they just don't really sell for a whole lot. This one ended up selling for $15. But it sold in 2 months, so that was good. Popo is the brand. To me, it's very similar to Schleich. These were just these odd gorilla and lion warriors, and they sold for $16.15. I picked up quite a few different ones of these at the bins. I just thought they were cute. These two, one was a peach, one was a pineapple. I think I picked up others that it's a bear dressed as like a cow or a lamb or whatever. I think I've got another lot with them in it. And these two sold for $17.95 very quickly. Here's one of the exceptions for bears. This is Gund, and on the tag it says Caritas. Tender Teddy by Gund. It is small, 7-inch, and these sell very, very quickly. I think it sold probably the day I listed it or the next day. $26.95. Braun. We've sold every single piece of this food processor to international buyers. Every single piece. I'm down to just a few, I think, left. And this little dough hook sold for $22.45. Little Tykes dollhouse size table and 4 chairs. If you're going to list Little Tykes dollhouse stuff, make sure you have a ruler or something like my mat here that shows the size, because you will get somebody who's going to buy it thinking that they're getting the child size version of this for $10 and $6.95 shipping. You can't believe when I first started listing this stuff how many returns I got because they thought they were getting the child size version, because a lot of their stuff looks identical. Some is for the dollhouse, some are for the kids. So yeah, always, if you're listing this dollhouse stuff from Little Tykes, that you put the size, something that shows the size. Gund Russet is the dog's name. A little cute dog plush sold for $10. A very quick sell. $10 sold for $30. I don't know what I was thinking.
Since you're not thinking straight, let's talk flat rate.
Let's talk flat rate. We talked about it a little bit in our live show this morning on the other channel.
And we talked about it several weeks back after eBay opened. But Roxy Mac sent us a video. The lady was at eBay Open, and they had talked about how Google cannot show calculated shipping items on eBay in search results because they don't know how much the total cost is because of the shipping price is unknown to them. And so therefore having flat rate or zero, free shipping, which is also flat rate, just at $0, would be good to have. And this lady said that she heard it there at eBay Open, but she wasn't able to attend the Q&A session where she could ask about it because she was doing a presentation at the eBay Open, so she wasn't able to. And since Roxy Mac brought it back to our attention because we get lost and forget so many things, we went back and talked about it.
And Robert went in with his store stuff because everything in his store we set up as calculated shipping,
and with business policies.
With business policies. So he started checking a few of his items. They weren't showing up.
In Google search results.
In Google search. They were, the ended listing was there, because I do end and sell similar every month. But none of that stuff was there. So he is going through the process of switching over the things in his store to flat rate shipping, which we've already had 2 of the sales today. And I personally think his shipping is a little too cheap. But we'll see how it goes over the next few weeks, and then I may convince him to up it a little bit. We're trying not to charge, enough to cover if it was shipping to Alaska. You know what I mean? We're trying, because if you charge too much, you're going to lose all your sales in your area. And, we've done the research in the last couple of years that half of my sales are from states around me that are, East Coast.
That would be the lowest shipping price on eBay.
Right. And so we don't want to charge, $12 because that's how much it's going to cost to ship to California. I'll lose all these sales. So we're trying to find that happy median where, people close to us still want to buy and we won't take too bad of a hit if it's, shipping to California. So while he did that, I thought, flat rate shipping also includes free shipping. So I went into my store and all of the high dollar stuff, the Sasha dolls and some of those other items that I have listed for multi-$100s, I just decided to go ahead and change to free ship on them. I didn't really buffer the prices any because, if I can sell a $600 Sasha doll, I can cover the shipping.
Yeah, you could pay $30 for shipping.
Yeah. And going forward, I think at this point, 100 to up, maybe, I'm going to start trying to figure out a happy flat rate price even for them. And hopefully doing that will get my stuff over into the Google search. And because these are, especially like the Sasha dolls, they're going to be a very specific buyer. And hopefully they would find it on Google and then come and buy it in my store because I searched none of my Sasha dolls. And I have, 12 maybe of them. None of them are showing up in the Google search when I go over there.
You mentioned maybe at 100 or 150 is where your cutoff would be. Mm-hmm. It would be a little more complicated, but maybe make that dependent upon the size of the item. If you have a really small item that's $50, maybe because it's going to go in an 864 box, it'll be easy and cheap to ship. That might be an easy thing to put into flat rate shipping, as opposed to if you have a $50 item that's this big, you don't really want to put that into flat rate shipping because I don't like packing them and it's not worth, we would lose too much in the shipping if it went West Coast.
Yeah, you need to be careful, when you're sending offers. I've already told him he cannot just send 50% offers on stuff anymore because he needs to be able to see, does it include free shipping? And so I'm working through that right now. But
Just don't pay attention to me over here.
so I'm hoping it's going to make a difference. We'll see. We'll see. Anybody else pivoting in their shipping strategies just because of this whole Google? I don't know. At this point, it has to be real. So we're going to have to do something in order to get our stuff into the Google search.
Rebel said we've sold 2. It was today. It's the first time we've sold any that have been flat rate because I did it. What did I start? Thursday or Friday, maybe? I can't remember.
Probably.
Thursday or Friday, I started switching them over. And today we sold the first 2 items, and they went out at
$8.99 shipping.
$8.99 shipping, and they went out at $10-ish or so.
Well, one was 10 because I didn't think to go look and see how much flat rate shipping would be in a priority envelope. But the second one, it actually was able to ship for $9.10 in a flat rate envelope. So we didn't lose very much in that one. And hopefully that's going to help with sales.
That's the point I was making, is she saw it as losing $1 twice, and I saw it as we made 2 sales we wouldn't have made otherwise because we had cheaper shipping.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Possibly.
maybe we would have made them anyway. I don't know. But I think it's going to help in the long run, especially if they can get in the Google search results, because it used to be if you wanted to buy something used, you had to go to eBay. Now the Google search results are pretty good. You can search for the thing you want, and you'll get results to multiple sites: Poshmark, Mercari,
Etsy.
Grail, Depop, Etsy, eBay. You'll get them all over the place, and that might be the way shoppers are going these days instead of going to specifically eBay.
Now back to the show. All right, Webster University. Yeah, this was a very quick sell also. And they've already left me feedback saying that this was the perfect stocking stuffer for their Webster University student right now. It sold for $11. When I got this offer, I thought to myself, it's taken a very special person who wants this plush. I'm going to take an offer. I'm just going to get it gone because who knows how long it might sit around waiting for somebody else, because this doesn't seem like a school I've ever heard of, so it must be small. UT Smokey the Dog plush from 1985. Again, been listed for quite a while. I think I had it listed for maybe $50. Funny thing is, we went to a yard sale one time and they had this exact dog in their yard sale with a $50 price. And I just had to chuckle to myself thinking, I wonder if they looked at mine on eBay and priced theirs because of that. I ended up selling this $38.66. Hershey's Jolly Rancher Purple Bear sold for $8.96. Bread and butter. All right, these are in rough condition and they still sold pretty quickly, about 4 or 5 months. These are to the Fisher-Price McDonald's soft serve ice cream play set. This was the chocolate and the vanilla that would have fit down in a cone. I had the cones. I just went ahead and sold those separately. And they sold for $26.95. Somebody grumbled about having to pack this and then made me feel bad because I thought, I need to quit buying this big stuff. He bought it. He's the one that bought it.
I made her feel bad, then confessed
And then he
to being the one.
confessed. All right, it is a tabletop decoration, $35. This, again, another cute story. Bear in the Big Blue House. This is a teeny tiny figure. Again, I found this at a thrift store in Knoxville. Bought it, but I really bought it because it had stuff for my wall in it. And I mean, I know to look for Bear in the Big Blue House. I never would have thought that this little figure is worth $25. So I paid for all of my goodies that I wanted. Found these at the Goodwill bins in Asheville. We took our friends Amanda and Bob, who are Rocket City resellers, and Fiona Fines to the outlet there while they were up here for the reseller meetup. I found like one of them, and Amanda, I had never knew that there was this whole series of Better Together. Doesn't that make sense? that, you know, they're magnetic and they're too plush, and there was all kinds of different food type things that magnetic together. But we ended up finding the taco and the hot sauce bottle, so it was a very quick sale, $10. Tyco Playtime Kitty. Same series as the Kitty Kitty Kittens, and it also does purr like the Kitty Kitty Kittens, but it was called the Playtime Kitty. Bought it at the same time I bought all those Kitty Kitty Kittens for $1, and he sold for $40. My Pillow Pets Monkey Plush. I like the little small ones, you know, the 12-inch ones. I don't tend to pick up the bigger ones. They just take up too much space. There's probably exceptions if you look them up if you find them. But a lot of times I'll pick up the smaller versions. This one sold for $13.45. Blankets and Beyond Elephant Lovey sold for $15. This was a nice find, but again, had been listed probably 3 years. Been listed for quite a while. And they are vintage balsa wood trinket boxes. I think, let's see, since I didn't sell them on sale, I was going to show you. Yeah, see, the lids came off of all of them. Just very, very cute. Would be cute in like a winter scene. They sold full price, $49.95. This sold, I think the same day I listed it. It had a little stain in its foot, so I decided to price it a little bit less than what they normally sell for, and it still sold immediately, $9.95 for this classic Gund Winnie the Pooh plush. Last but not least, LL Bean Kids Snow Pants. These are size 16, sold for $10. I think when Robert picked them up, we don't normally pick up kids stuff. He probably thought it was like a small women's, but no. And they took forever to sell, $10. I have 4 things on Robert's store to share with you for that weekend. We sold these BKE Ryan men's jeans, sold for $26.71. Sold these Miss Me women's bootcut jeans. Again, same price, $26.71. Eli Cattleman men's long sleeve button shirt sold for $13. And last but not least, these Backroad Blues men's shorts sold for $10. All right. Time to call it a day, y'all. I'm tired. You got anything else to add?
I'm a little bit hungry today.
Me too.
It's just been a hungry day, and I gotta go edit this video and work on getting some stuff ready for supper, because Jenna's gonna cook a little bit, but we're gonna eat a little chicken with her stuff instead of chicken parmesan tonight is what we're gonna make, and I want to make some different kind of chicken, so that's what we're gonna do tonight.
Yep. All right, so it's time to get to work. Bye.